There are countless diets that people follow for weight loss. There's the ketogenic diet, the Mediterranean diet, and the vegan diet, just to name a few. Many people switch from diet to see which one will give them the fastest results, but they fail to realize that regardless of the diet, they need to be eating in a caloric deficit in order to lose weight. Over the years, intermittent fasting has given me the best bang for my buck when it comes to fat loss and maintaining most of my strength when I lose a significant amount of weight. Intermittent fasting does not require you to eat a certain type of food, but there is a certain time period when you can consume these foods depending on which intermittent fasting method you are using. Although intermittent fasting does not require you to eat a certain type of food, the food quality does matter when aiming to improve your health. Let's first start off by defining what intermittent fasting is. Intermittent fasting is an eating pattern that cycles between fasting and eating. One of the most common forms of intermittent fasting is known as the 16-8 method, which is when someone fasts for 16 hours and has an 8-hour eating window. And yes, sleep is included during that fasting period. Many people believe that you need to eat at least 3 to 4 meals per day in order to be healthy, but that is not the case. I'm sure that everyone has heard the phrase, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Well, I would say that phrase is not one size fits all. Just take a look at people like George St. Pierre and Terry Crews, who both practice forms of intermittent fasting. And from looking at them, I would say that intermittent fasting definitely works. Other popular methods of intermittent fasting are alternate day fasting and the 5-2 method. If you want me to cover a specific type of intermittent fasting in future videos, then please let me know in the comment section below. Growing up, before I even heard of the term intermittent fasting, I would only eat 1 to 2 meals a day because that was the only time that I was hungry. I continued this through college and I had absolutely no idea about nutrition at the time. I always attributed my lean physique to genetics, which definitely played a role, but it did not tell the entire story. As I gained more knowledge about nutrition, I realized that I spent a lot of time eating in a caloric deficit on top of me being extremely active growing up. Now, there were time periods when I wanted to put on size and did silly things like eat plain white bread and drink whole milk as a meal. However, I was still eating in a caloric deficit, so I did what most people do and consider myself, yes, a hard gainer who could never gain weight no matter what I did. So I wasn't even thinking about, oh, well, I need to eat in a caloric surplus. Now back to intermittent fasting. Naturally, when people reduce their eating window, instead of eating at all times of the day, they're usually going to be consuming less calories. Currently, for what I do, I practice OMAD, which is eating 1 meal a day on the days that I do calisthenics and cardio. And then on the days where I lift weights, I'm currently doing full body training. I do the warrior diet, which is where I have a 4-hour eating window. Now, this may sound drastic to everyone, but I can assure you that it is not as bad as it sounds. My body has actually grown accustomed to me eating later in the afternoon, and honestly, this was something that I did anyway when I was younger. I didn't start eating 4 to 6 meals per day until I let muscle and fitness magazines give me nutrition advice, which looking back, I shouldn't have taken this advice, but I have to admit it was a great learning experience for me. Now, I will say that both OMAD and the warrior diet is not required for weight loss. For me, I do them because I enjoy being disciplined and challenging myself. You can achieve weight loss with the 16-8 method as long as you are eating in a caloric deficit. I want to stress that you need to be eating in a calorie deficit for weight loss because I have witnessed people eat a ton of food in this 8-hour eating window like it was going to be their last day eating, and then they would wonder why their weight remained the same, or in some scenarios, they would wonder why they experienced weight gain. In addition to being great for weight loss, there are many other health benefits to intermittent fasting that I would love to cover in future videos if this is something that you all find interesting. Please let me know if you would like me to make additional videos discussing the benefits of intermittent fasting by first liking this video and leaving a comment below. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for the continued support. Hasta la vista.